98.9 Northwest FM.
98.9 Northwest FM, you're on CarTorque with Matty J, another Tuesday night and another new topic. I'm joined by Blake and James. James, obviously from Estblshd. How you going?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
And Blake, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So, you first time on the radio?
Yep, actually.
Excited?
Nervous. Yeah.
Nervous? Nah, don't be nervous. It's pretty chill. We just have a bit of fun and just talk cars. That's what we do here every Tuesday night. So, thanks again for listening in, guys. Tonight's topic is about the Melbourne car scene, where it is, where it has been, and where we predict it's going to be. Obviously, James with Estblshd is a pretty big car, car
buff, I guess.
Yeah, buff, and he's deep into the car scene here, so he can give us a better insight. And obviously, we're joined by Blake, who can give us his thoughts on the Melbourne car scene as well, from his point of view. So just a quick introduction, obviously to you, Blake. Tell us about yourself and what car you drive, and you can give a shout out to anyone you like as well.
Well, I'm 18. I go to university. Not so big in the car scene, but I'm trying to get into it a bit more. I drive a Mazda 3.
Yep.
2006 with the sports interior, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my mum.
Hi, Mum.
How you going?
So obviously, and you've got a Mazda 3 as well.
Yeah, so I drive the Mazda 3. I got the MPS variant.
Which is it's pretty quick, to be honest.
Quick, yeah. But Blake's pretty good at driving too, to be honest.
Sorry?
Blake is pretty good in his 3.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you get used to your car, I guess, it's always a bit of fun. Is yours manual or auto, Blake?
Manual.
Oh, nice.
Of course.
Yeah, has to be manual. Has to be. That's what I like to hear. Well, tonight we're talking about the Melbourne car scene. So obviously we've had discussions like touching on it in previous episodes, but where we see the Melbourne car scene at. So I'll put mine forward. Basically, the Melbourne car scene's changed in probably let's say the last 5 years. Because of a few reasons. Obviously, like the amount of police that's against just in general car enthusiasts when they classify us all as hoons, which is completely unfair, and it's very discriminatory to people, to people who enjoy cars. Look, you've got your hoons, and by all means, take their car away or do what you got to do. But for the people that are actually genuine enthusiasts who love their cars, they modify them correctly, and even if they're a bit lower, like a lot of the time they got better suspension than most other cars on the road anyway. So they're going to be on the road. They're going to be maintained. The rate that what they're being picked on is becoming kind of out of hand, to be honest. You can't really organise any meets. I remember about 5 years ago. I went to some awesome car meets, and there was like JDMST back in the day. And there was little to no cop.
No dramas.
No dramas, and like if they'd come past to see everyone's just chilling out, not doing anything, just borrowing people's cars, they'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. Now you can't do that because they'll set up a defect station about 100 meters up the road. And they'll defect your car for pretty much anything, just because they can. Look, I'm all for the cops. I support them. I support the police. You have to support the police because they do have a hard job. But at the end of the day, it's really ruined one of the things that most people it's part of Australian culture, car culture. And I've met some cool cops that love their cars and like they'll pull you over just to talk about your car. But some cops, if you get pulled over, will be really hard about it, and I think it's scared a lot of people off from going to meets anymore. It's scared a lot of people from driving their cars. I can see where they're coming from, because they're trying to save lives at the end of the day. But they should see it from our perspective as well. That we're not all drifting in Macca's car parks and checking what they call Macca's trades underneath the rear to go sideways. We're all kind of chill, And that's been the beauty about the car scene here, because all the car enthusiasts have always kind of looked after each other, and I think that's a very valuable point. But in recent times, that it's kind of gone the way of it's more been hushed up. Like I know JDMC doesn't do anything here anymore. There's no end of month meets anymore. I mean, there's little meets here and there, but nothing like there used to be. I don't know. What's your take on it, James?
The car scene's changed a lot in terms of get-togethers and gatherings. A lot of it has to be like on private property, and people have to be informed before the stuff happens. I guess the police are okay with it happening as long as there's a donation involved to certain companies and whatnot. I mean, if you're doing fundraisers, that's okay, but just a casual meet where people can admire each other's rides. How'd you do this or how'd you do that? That's something that's sort of disappeared these days, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. We've been to some great meets together, James, and the way they were structured was really chill. Everything worked really well. But I think the one meet that really kind of changed the Melbourne landscape really was that huge meet on King Street or just off King Street?
Just off King Street, yeah.
It was like
Lonsdale, I believe.
Yeah, it was Little Lonsdale. It was in a big parking complex. Cracking meet. It was like 400 cars there. It was exotics. It was everything.
There's a DJ halfway up
it was legit. Picture this: Tokyo Drift, like the movie, just like in Melbourne. It was insane. It was crazy, and it was the party was pumping. It was a Sunday afternoon. No one was doing any trouble really. The organisers had organised it really well. They said if you do any hooning behaviour, plates are given, you're done. Someone obviously dobbed into the cops. The cops shut the thing down, and the people got rowdy, and then it became like a big fight on the forums and stuff.
Social media, yeah.
Social media, and from there I think that was the last time I think they organised a proper meet here. But I think in general as well, it was just to see. Because they brought the SWAT team, I guess, like the riot squad.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy just for a bunch of car enthusiasts who were just enjoying and admiring their cars. What about you, Blake? What have you seen in the Melbourne car scene? Because you're obviously new to the roads at being 18, but in general, how have you felt as a car enthusiast yourself? Like you said, you're not a massive one, but you're getting there. How have you seen the car scene? Are they open to you, or
In terms of the whole police discussion, I understand where they're coming from. Like, they need to keep the roads safe.
Of course.
But at times, they just overdo it, and they push the rules to the point where it goes past the rules, and they're making their own at points. And that's just becoming an issue for car enthusiasts. And as it's gone through, because I haven't been to many meets and stuff, and I've seen a lot of people just being ridden off just because of their car. Like, if I've seen someone who had a stock Lamborghini, wasn't breaking any rules, wasn't doing anything, and he got his car ridden off for nothing. And you can imagine that, save up all that money for that Lamborghini, and just gets ridden off. Yeah. Straight up. And
it's devastating.
Yeah, you can't really say much.
You can't really say much to that. Look, see, that's one of the factors just there that it's hard to explain. Like, you're kind of scared, I guess, in that aspect. I've been to a few meets. I've been to plenty in my time, and sometimes when the cops come, it's gotten to that point now where even the cops come just to have a look, just not to do anything, not to defect nothing. Everyone just legit broady bolts out of there. Like, they hop in their cars and it's like a mad scramble to get out. They're like, they're gonna shut the exits. They're gonna defect us. They're gonna
most of the time the cops get there. They're just like, just gonna have a look and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess if you talk about highway, the Melbourne car scene, you talk about highway, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like intentionally dragging from light to light, hooking U-turns. I mean, highway used to be good. No, don't get me wrong, but innocent people died. A couple people have already been killed there, and I guess if the police don't, stop U-turns after 10 and whatnot.
Yeah, and look, I completely agree with you, James, because it's if you drive like an idiot, you're putting not only yourself at risk, but everyone else on the road at a risk. Yeah. As I said previously, you can enjoy your car and not be an idiot. And I'm completely on the cop side. I'm all for the police. We've got to say we need to support them. To say, we need to crack down on this behavior, but we need to also give credit where credit is due to good car enthusiasts who don't hoon, who respect their cars, who respect other people's property, who respect everything else, and just want to enjoy their motor vehicles.
That's it.
And without the hassle of saying, "Oh crap, I'm gonna get done here." Like, not a killed, as I said before. But just get their car, taken off in a trailer. You don't want it to happen. I think the word hoon has really damaged car enthusiasts, because I think it's been associated really, really harshly. But it's a touchy subject. It's a very grey area.
Yeah.
But see, this is only like one of the factors that we're going to be talking about. So there's tons more. Look, we're going to go to our first song of the night. Back on 98.9 Northwest FM. You're on CarTorque with Matty J. Still in the studio with Blake and James. We're talking the Melbourne car scene tonight. So, as we were talking about before, one of the issues with the Melbourne car scene is the increased heat, I guess you could say. But like as I said previously, we support the cops. We support the police. They haven't got a hard job. I think it's another thing about it's just changing perspective on all car enthusiasts, because car enthusiasts do great things. When we go for meets, we always put donations and stuff like that. But just to get that the vision of us changed is probably going to be a hard thing when you got programs like A Current Affair and Tracy Grimshaw and and stuff like that. Really just hard on all car enthusiasts they're all hoons, which is just completely not true. If we were all car enthusiasts, the amount of cars that they sell, performance cars here that they sell in Australia, they wouldn't have a market for it. You know what I mean? So we should be celebrating the car, because at the end of the day, it's using a valuable resource, and we're not gonna have it forever. So yeah. So another factor I was thinking about this during the song was that obviously when you go to a meet and stuff, it takes a lot to organise.
Yeah, guaranteed.
As you know, James. So you've organised some meets before with Estblshd.
Yeah. No, real quick before I do that, just got to drop a shout out to Jade, my girlfriend. We've been together for 4 years.
There you go. Today?
No. 4 years and probably like a month. And
cool.
Some month, yeah. So anyway,
what's going on, Jade? How you going? All right. Well, yeah. So.
all right, real quick. So Estblshd. It takes some effort to actually put together a car meet. I mean, not just meets. I've done dyno days with a few places, and a rush job is like 2 weeks at minimum. But to be honest, you need at least a month just to advertise that the day is going to happen.
Yep.
The time before that is all like behind the scenes. Late nights on Facebook doing posts to try and gain attention to I guess you could say you got to factor in the time that you're actually going out for meetings with the people. Let's say if you're going to do it at a car park, you got to meet with them. You got to meet with the council. You got to we're here for a collective reason. We're not going to be dropping burnouts or skids on the top of your car park.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes into it, and then not just that. I mean, if you want sponsors to come, if you want the media, or you want someone to come, there's certain things that you got to fill out. You got to get them there. You got to, payments have to go through for certain things. If we have to hire the venue and whatnot, there's a lot involved. Behind
the scenes.
I guess if the cops come and shut it down, then it's like 2 months worth of work for nothing, sort of thing.
Yep.
So I can see where a lot of people complain. Yeah,
look, and it's again the factor of being labelled as a hoon, which is completely unfair.
Yeah, I mean, car enthusiast is probably the better word.
Yeah,
but I mean, there are some bad car enthusiasts, some good car enthusiasts, but like with anything, I mean, there's going to be criminals in the world.
Yeah. Look, if we move on from this, well, first of all, I'll tell you the number to text in if you guys got anything to say about this. 0447 777 989 0447 777 989. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know your thoughts on these big topics, because we're going to be going through them tonight. But another thing that I reckon's really hindered the scene here is negativity between car enthusiasts as well.
Yeah, guaranteed.
It's really bad. Like it's gotten really bad recently, especially with like the latest, like obviously social media. Like people can just hide behind their keyboards and be keyboard warriors.
It's not as bad as Sydney. Sydney's got it worse, but
you reckon?
Melbourne's pretty bad. Yeah, Melbourne's bad in terms of like on the streets sort of thing. Like you don't really have gangs. You got like the Honda boys, the JD, like Mazda boys, Toyota guys, and they're all hard parked together.
Yeah,
I mean, especially Volkswagens and 86s. You got like Golfs and 86s.
That's the Melbourne car scene. Volkswagen Golfs and 86s.
So I mean, those guys they don't like parking next to each other or anything. But I think it's cool. I think we should all unite.
Yeah,
and park next to each other. I mean, car meets were made, or car meets are there for let's say, as a kid, you grew up wanting like a 34 Skyline or a Lamborghini, and then you go to a car meet and you get to park your Skyline next to a Lamborghini, and you're like, wow, look at this is cool, And I think that gives people a rush. They're like, well, I wanted these cars, or they get to see these cars. I was looking through social media the other day, and some guy's like, he dropped a story on Facebook, and he's like, I parked my car, got out, and you got that cheeky stare that you always look back at your car. Yeah. That's how you know you got the right car. And he goes, I look back at my car, and this kid, this dad was walking his kid through the car park. And the kid's jumping up and down, and he's going, race car to his dad. He's pointing at the guy's car, and then he goes, that's the moment that all this hard work come together.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the car scene's about, sort of thing.
It is, and we should be supporting each other. Like at the end of the day, a lot of money goes into our cars, and you should really respect someone's, thoughts behind what they've done. You don't have to like it personally, but you don't have to say, oh, I can't stand Stance, or I can't stand this, or I can't stand that. Look, I'm not a big Stance fan myself, but
there's a lot of beef though in the scene.
It's a lot of beef about that, and I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm like, if that's for you, I can see the hard work you put into it. You've coiled, whatever you've done, you've bagged, it doesn't really matter. But as I said, it's not for me. But obviously, other people, like for example, a lot of the JDM guys aren't into Aussie cars, and that's cool. That's cool. By all means, but at least don't be a dick about it. Don't say, oh, it's a Ford or it's a Holden, it's junk.
Yeah.
Respect other people's rides. You know what I mean? So I've got the F6 obviously, and taking it to a meet that's not that's just specifically JDM. I think you were there that day.
Estblshd
meet, yeah. I was just getting stares why the hell are you here? I'm like, yeah, cool. I can understand. I don't fit in here, but you can at least just say, oh, okay, it's cool. I had one of those moments before, you were talking about, a little kid. I actually just washed the car, and I went and caught up with some mates at a restaurant. I parked the car right outside the restaurant. I could see it.
Nice.
And this kid is probably about 10. He runs up to the car and he's looking at it. He's like, oh my god, wow, there's an F6, and he's pointing at it and he's having a look. And I'm sitting in the window, and my other mate, Matt, believe it or not, he's like, oh, the kid's looking at the car. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool, So I don't know if he knew what it was or anything, but he was obviously checking it out, and he really liked it.
Excellent.
And it makes you smile, because it's kids, especially kids that if anything looks kind of cool, they'll like it. They're not a badge snob. They're not this. They're not that.
Yeah.
They kind of respect everyone's car. And I don't know if you feel the same way, Blake, but have you seen that kind of division between car enthusiasts?
Yeah, there's been a bit of division. So at my uni, you'll occasionally, when you're driving through, you'll see, like James mentioned, with the whole parking thing.
Yeah.
There's sections where they'll just be broken up into actual brands and stuff. And I even saw a section where it was literally just basically the four main bodies going through the years of the Lancer.
Oh, right, okay.
You might have seen it on the Facebook page. Yeah. There's a massive amount of segmentation between the brands, which should not be there, because if you've got a decent car, you've got a decent car.
Yeah.
That's what you got to look at. I'm personally not so much into the actual tech specs of it and everything. I'm more into the actual look of the car. If it can look good, I'm automatically going to fall in love with it.
Yeah.
If you can drive a car well and you've got a good-looking car, it's a good match. of course, the specs, of course, are going to help out. But, yeah, with the way things are changing, if you think about it, the actual bodies of the cars have changed so much. If you think about cars from the 90s, even not 20 years ago, basically, they had a completely different shape. Like the sedans, they were much more boxier. Now, if you think about the Mazdas, they've got the nice rounded edges.
Yeah.
Everything's changing. And I love the way that the actual car designs are changing, and love keeping up with that.
It should be celebrated.
Yeah. Love the look of the new Mazdas compared to some of the older ones. Except, well, you got to love with the vintages. You were looking at the RX-7 Series 1.
Yeah, that's it.
Love the vintage look of that. And so you got to love a good vintage look, but then the way the cars have changed over the years, it's amazing. If you think about it, back in the day, I don't know if it was the same thing here in Melbourne because I grew up in Brisbane.
Okay.
But pretty much everything was either wagons or sedans.
Yep.
Now, if you look at the roads now, it's all Fiestas and Golfs, and it's all hatchbacks. And so the actual cars have changed in the actual what people are buying. And I find that to be really interesting with the way things are changing. But then if you go to the car scenes, you'll see either the really sporty Golf or the really sporty hatchback or the sedan, which is modded up with its spoilers and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool the way it's changed in the way that all the cars are coming together in the car scene. But yeah, there's definitely the car brand segmentation and a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, it's obviously cars change over time, and you get development, right? So, and that breaks another division again. Like people like their older stuff, people like their newer stuff.
That's probably the hardest part.
Yeah,
especially organising a car meet. You want to get like old school guys out there with, like, let's say the JDM guys, and it ain't gonna happen. Like, I can guarantee
there's beef straight away.
Anything older than 25 years, even being Japanese, will not come out with like Aussie muscle sort of thing. You know what I mean?
And they should, like it's.
I know it should be just collaboration and get together and whatnot, and like, for what your car lacks, my car has and whatnot. But yeah,
and like look, I'm all for like getting out there and having this discussion with other car enthusiasts. Say, okay, like, all right, my car's a big old boat. It's a 1950s, but it's got like a massive V8, whatever it is. And then you get like you get like your Civic and stuff, like they're a quick little car, and then like they'll be like, oh no, I can't be associated with you guys. When at the end of the day, we've all got the one passion of cars. I mean, that's why we enjoy them. That's why we bring them together. And I think the whole division, like, okay, it's cool to have like your own sort of JDM meets and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm all for those things. But having said that, when we should make a meet together and just be friendly towards one another, and like, and not be keyboard warriors behind our keyboards saying that, at least I can get around a corner, or at least I can go fast. It's some people like low and slow. Some people like corner carving. Some people like straight lines. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. But you should all like kind of respect each other's each other's choices, because at the end of the day, it's what's dividing us apart as car enthusiasts. And considering what we're going through lately with the hoon culture, what we're being associated with, we need to kind of stick together to really help car enthusiasts keep alive, because we're getting pretty much hunted out of the city. And we are. Like, I hate to use a word like that, but how many car meets do you see happen these days in Melbourne? Not many.
Not many, man. A lot of it east side. Like, we're going away from Melbourne. It's hard. It's hard to like bring people together these days, I guess, but can't do much.
And the thing is, we used to have comments on all the time, and I'd be raring to go, every time there was one on. But now, like, just from like the kind of the culture and how it's all changed, especially over the last 5 years, it's been really a big put off, because you'd want everyone to be unified, because we're all here for the one purpose, and to see it get broken away like that, it's really, really hard to see. I haven't been to a car meet in I don't know how long, but the last thing I went to was It wasn't a full car meet, but it was more like a celebration for Garage Cafe. James was obviously running the meet there, and it was their closing night.
That's sad, man.
It was sad, but you know what? It was probably one of the nicest meets I've been to. Do you know why, James?
What's that?
Because there was everything there.
Yeah, seriously. Everyone came together
Yeah.
in one unity just to celebrate, like, you could say the car scene in general, but, like, that was an awesome place to hang out.
Yeah, it was. For us car enthusiasts, there's
Yeah.
nothing like it, really.
Guaranteed. But yeah, on that night, there was everything. There was
There was mini trucks, there was Euros, there was
a
Japanese.
mini truck that was bagged.
That was cool. How cool was that thing?
That was sick. Like, I did not expect that.
That was sick.
JDM was inside. Like,
Yeah.
there was the EDM guys, and then out on the street, just the masses of everything, and people were, they didn't really care about the parking, like, adjacent and whatnot. Everyone was just angle parking outside,
Yeah.
and it was sick because, the cops came past. Oh, you guys aren't doing much. Look, the place is closing down. That's cool. As long as you guys stay off the street and as much as you can, then that's cool. But
But it was good, as you said, James, because everyone was there. Like, there was Aussie Muscle outside. There was just everything. There was hot hatches. There was everything.
Yeah,
everything.
wagons.
There was exotics. There was there was Porsches and stuff. There. It was really cool. It was, genuinely, James, it was like one of probably the nicest meets I've been to, and
Yeah.
there was no trouble.
everyone felt like a big family at that meet. To be honest, it was so cool.
Because everyone was there for the same purpose of obviously celebrating Garage Cafe, but being a car enthusiast, and that was like I'm into Garage Cafe many times, and there was like all different car crews. There was the mini car crew, the Aussie Muscle car crews.
There's always car clubs meeting there. They're basically, like, even the Ford guys were there. Like, one stage we met there, and they're like,
they were too.
having a meet, like, admin wise. What can we do in the upcoming months? I mean, people meet there, and it was cool. And for those who don't know what Garage Cafe is, did you want to explain it?
Oh, you can explain.
Okay, so it's basically
Cool concept.
What street was it?
It was on it was off Grattan. It was I forgot the name of the street.
Anyway, it's just behind Melbourne Uni, so basically the heart of the CBD. Basically, imagine a warehouse with a kitchen and some tables and like a bar layout. And on the left side, you could park your cars. So you could park your cars inside this place and then sit down on tables just adjacent to your car. And you can chill out with the car guys or anyone who used to go there. And
it was a really cool concept.
yeah, Indonesian food, that was a hit. I mean, I probably wouldn't have eaten Indonesian food in my life, but then like having Garage Cafe like introduced me to that scene, and that was pretty cool as well.
Yep.
Eddie, got a shout out to Eddie.
Good old Eddie. I missed that guy. He was was really sad that last night.
Yeah.
It was to me that was like one of the last kind of nails in the coffin for the Melbourne car scene for me.
Yeah, basically.
Because it was such a hub for us car guys, and it was really sad. It was super sad that Garage Cafe ended on really quick terms as well. It just was like, see you later. That's it. But all good things come to an end, and as car enthusiasts, we should really say, okay, well, how can we do something different? And
well, ever since like the 90s, even you look at like on Facebook, you got the Aussie car muscle pages and whatnot. There was I think it was in Adelaide or Perth. Have you seen that video of like the news report where they go to this is back in the 80s. They went to like a street and they were doing drags and they were doing burnouts.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right, back in the 80s, and you got big Kingswoods and Falcons and whatnot. They're all doing skids. And that one guy comes up and goes, why don't you just give him a piece of land? Seriously, like get him to pay for it. The council just give him a piece of land, and if they all chip in $100 each or whatever it is, just so they can do their burnouts. And I guess we used to have something like that. I'm not sure if everyone remembers drag tag,
yeah.
Or they had, like, I think it was $5 or $10. You just pay,
pop a set and go.
Exactly, and you go there and you do your skids. I mean, that's why drag tag closed down, because it was so cheap to do burnouts. No one wanted to pay like $100 or $150 to have their car dyno drag race. Like,
yeah. And another thing, like a reason why that's probably gone as well, is because like
liabilities,
and you got to have like an ambulance on standby, stuff like this. It's a hard thing to do, but we'll continue this right after the break. We've got to get to another song. We're back on CarTorque anyway. You're listening to 98.9 Northwest FM. I'm still joining the studio with James and Blake. So as we're talking about the Melbourne car scene, you know, and how are we going to fix it, guys? How are we going to do? How are we going to actually get the respect from the people that you know, from other people that say that we're not all just all hoons? How are we going to change our views, and how are we going to get the people's perception on us changed? You know, we need positivity. As James was saying to me during the song, he said he set up a meet, like it was established first birthday.
First birthday, yeah.
And
established.
And it got shut down because one guy complained, and you know, it's well, we're not all there to have a bad time. We had to have a good time, you know. So we need to get our perception of everybody changed, because it's becoming a sad place to be a car enthusiast. So it's time for the quiz. I don't know. Blake was wanting to be in the hot seat, but I don't think he wants to do it anymore, because there's going to be some hard questions in there.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you what, Blake. I'll make it easier for you. I'll let James help you out. You can do it as a collaborative effort.
You want to do that?
Yeah, why not?
All right, man.
As a collaborative effort?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll see if we can do better than on our own. All right, cool.
It's going to be horrible.
It's not going to be horrible. You'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure is what he says. Look, I'll get my music ready for to make it all dramatic and stuff, like as per usual. But you know, it's obviously the quiz time, so let's jump to our quiz. Just community radio. Don't mean to screw up here. All right, so this is a team effort. So we'll go through it. Okay. Question 1. Ford's initial XR6 Turbo came out on which model?
The BA.
BA, that's correct. Question 2. What was the last year for production of the Mark IV Toyota Supra?
Oh, shit.
That's a hard one. Any ideas?
I believe wasn't there an 01?
There was 01, yeah.
Yeah, 02?
2002, that's it.
Man.
I'll pay that. The HSV W427, which was a limited run model, had what size engine displacement?
The normal ones are 6 litres, aren't they? 6.8, I reckon.
7 litre.
7 litre.
So it was 7 litre. Obviously, it was the biggest engine that they ever put in a Holden.
What is that, an LS3?
It was an LS7.
LS7, okay.
I think it was LS7 or LS9. I'm pretty sure it's LS7. What Chevrolet product did that engine originally come from?
Killing me, man.
Killing you?
Chevrolet product. Any idea, Blake?
Absolutely no idea.
Think of their sports car. What's their sports car? Chevrolet's genuine sports car.
The big one?
The one that everyone knows.
The Camaro.
Or calf. It starts with C.
Charger.
Nah, it's Corvette.
Oh.
It's all good. Next one.
All good.
The 1UZ FE was a famous engine made by who?
Toyota.
Toyota, that's right. It's a V8. True or false? The A45 AMG is front-wheel drive.
True.
It's all-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive. So,
It's all-wheel drive.
I'll pay that. So it is false. It is all-wheel drive. Question 7. Who tunes Proton suspension in their cars? It's a famous it's a pretty famous English company.
Cosworth.
Nah, Lotus.
Damn.
That's actually your own Lotus, believe it or not. Question 8. What does homologation mean in terms of racing? To homologate something.
I don't know, man. Why'd you have to do this for me?
No idea?
Before I even started racing. Yeah, tell me.
Basically, it's the rules and regulations that must be met by that are set by a racing series.
Like scrutineering or something?
Yeah. So for example, you must build 500 of these cars first before you can put it into production. That's why they have homologation specials.
Right.
Question 9. Which car company in Australia built their last engines this week? We talked about this before.
Forward.
Yeah, that's correct. And the final question, we're running out of music. The Fiat 124 Spider is based on which car? It's based on something Japanese.
Like an MX-5?
It is an MX-5, yeah. It is an MX-5. All right, let's add up the score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10, not bad, guys, not bad. Good work.
That was all him.
Same score as last time.
You're stuck with 6, James. You're stuck with 6.
Stuck on 6.
Stuck on 6. So that was the car quiz for tonight. So 6 out of 10 is okay. There were actually some hard questions in there tonight. So I'll let you off a bit easy on your first time onto the radio. I won't be mean about it. Anyway, we'll go back into our like main topic discussion of the night. Obviously the car meets and the Melbourne car scene. To me, what I think needs to happen is I think we need to have a good change of perspective. Well, we need to put car enthusiasts in a good light. You know, Australia's been the hub of like, you know, of cars for years. You know, so we should be really appreciative of the good in people and not take advantage of car enthusiasts. In Adelaide, they do like a massive meet. I forgot what it's called.
Dude, in Adelaide, have you seen recently? Following one of the guys on Snapchat, Bez. There was a drift event, and it happened on public roads.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Up in the mountains. That's something cool. Like seriously, and I've been to Adelaide for the drifting events, but that was the off street drift events.
Yeah.
And we went through the mountains. We drove through the mountains, and that was pretty cool. And to think that, you know, these guys are actually drifting out there and they're doing a proper sport in the mountains. Like they've put up barriers and everything.
Awesome.
That's
so
sick.
Good.
That's so good. So I mean, something we should adopt in Melbourne.
See, Adelaide's
we have some pretty good roads.
Well, Adelaide's a bit more lenient than us here because I was reading on social media. I think it was an Import Monster or one of the guys said that they always organise a meet and they do it in Adelaide. They've done it for Adelaide for the last, I think, 10 years or so.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's 10 years or 8 years, whatever it is. Anyway, us Melbourne has been screaming for this meet. It's old school Japan. It's old Japanese cars. It's an old, you know, I think it's classic Japan or
We have a classic Japan coming up.
But we had one coming up, right?
Yeah. Classic Japan's coming up. I'll pull the date up.
But yeah, anyway, it was something for old Japanese cars, and it's been happening in Adelaide for yonks.
That's All Japan Day. I think I got cancelled here.
Yeah, also All Japan Day. That's it, All Japan Day. And anyway, so basically they've held it in Adelaide, no issues at all. To get it held in Melbourne, geez, they
got dropped.
Basically they had it planned. They had to organise all this other extra stuff. And basically, they made it so hard that they just gave up and they couldn't do it. Get this, even the hospital that was asking for the donation. I'm not even going to say the name of the hospital because I'm disgusted in them. They said, oh, we need, was it 70% of the actual, you know, the donations? I don't like. Just like be happy with what you're going to get, really, because you know they don't make anything out of doing these car meets.
Yeah, they're organising it just for the community and whatnot, and then you get the community turning around and going, "Nah, get stuffed." Yeah,
pretty much get stuffed. The police were like, "Yeah, no, you can't do it in here." Albert Park were just like, "No, you need to show all you know, basically how you're going to do it, this, that, and the other." And the hospital they were giving the donation to was like, "We need 70% of your profit." So for them to actually break even, they were originally just planning on having 150 odd cars there. They would have had to have like almost 400 cars.
Yeah, well, 600.
Yeah, well, which the place that they were organising in Albert Park just couldn't cope with. So then they couldn't have a change of venue, and then the police presence because they wouldn't get the approval. But they basically said, "Oh, we won't be there." But we'll be there to inspect. Yeah. So in other words, they'll be outside with a defect station, which is pretty bad. But
and you got Classic Japan, which is coming up December 4th.
Oh yeah.
That's at Como Park, 9 till 2. That's for stuff for like, you know,
old school
classic. Yeah. 20, it has to be 25 years or older.
That's cool.
But that's cool. I mean, at least something's going on.
Yeah. Look. As I was saying before, James, I'm all for like each company or each thing having their own thing. But like, you know, as a general meet, we shouldn't discriminate. We should all kind of mingle and be happy.
Yeah.
We're going to get to our last song of the 98.9 Northwest FM. We're almost done for tonight, guys. Have you found your first time on radio, Blake?
It's been all right.
Been all right?
It was a lot better than what I thought, but I've been a bit quiet.
No, well, it's all right. It's all good to be nervous. I was really scared my first time on radio. But obviously James has been here a couple times. So it's you're a regular now, James. You're easy. It's second nature, mate.
It's so good. We've got to get Blake up there.
Yeah, I'll have to get you on again, Blake. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. Let's give a couple quick shout outs. Obviously, we're international now, guys. Believe it or not, we've got listeners in the States. So, shout out to Dave in the States, and shout out to all our listeners in general. And because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be on radio. So keep us locked in every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Also, Dr. Rock on his Tuesday night program, and he's at 6 p.m. for Your Pleasure, and on a Thursday night, he's on with Fitzy. On Thursday night, and that's for the Thursday night off, which is really good listening. They play real good music, and they have a good laugh. They get a lot of I've got a lot of live music playing on their show as well. So really cool stuff. Australia should be coming in today, so stay tuned for that. But thanks again, guys. I hope we've kind of cleared some of the big issues within the Melbourne car scene, and just put them out there so we know what we're dealing with and how we're going to change it. So.
If you've got any discussion, just hit us up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, definitely.
CarTorque with Matty J.
Hit us up. Obviously, check us up on our Facebook page. CarTorque, you're right, CarTorque with Matty J. Send me a message on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to answer you. And if you want to come on the show as well, I'm making a list of who's going to come on. So if you're into cars, if you've got you want to talk about suspension or whatever you want to talk about, by all means, come on, and I'll be happy to hear from you. We obviously have a ball doing this, so keep listening in, and I'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, this has been CarTorque with Matty J, and joined by Blake and James. Take it easy.